Hey, 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 it's Ronai, and I'm so excited. We are here tonight for our AromaVibe class, and I am excited that it's Jared and I running the show tonight. Leanne is having a very fun date with her husband, very well deserved. And so I'm excited to get here and share. This is our back to school class. It's a little on the basic side, and we start talking about stuff, especially in the classroom. We're getting back into that environment where you're around a lot of people. Jared, kick us
Yeah,
off.
okay, absolutely. And actually, guys, today I had the chance to spend hours with my brand new grandson. He is so adorable. And, if you are looking and seeing the shirt that I'm wearing, it says Papa Lorian, and this is the way. And I went ahead and decided, you know what? It's appropriate for me to keep wearing it because this really is how we love to teach. We learn and then we go and share the things that we learn. And so that's kind of how we function in a lot of ways. And so when we're talking about so much of all of these topics, it's really fun, especially when we're talking about learning to get back to school. So Renee, I know you had a comment there.
I do. I forgot a little bit of housekeeping. So, just a reminder that um, we we are not doctors. We cannot diagnose or treat. We are educators. We're here to share our information and show you where to find the great information. Also, if you're watching this recording, we're so glad that you're here and watching this recording. We suggest you come to the live classes because as soon as the camera goes off, that's when the real fun starts. So now, Jared, take it away the rest of the way.
Absolutely. So, guys, this is one of those classes that is kind of a foundational one for a lot of people. When we're talking about back to school, this ends up being a class that could be for anybody when they're just getting started, when they're going out into the world and they're being exposed to a couple different things that maybe they're not exposed to every single day. So, we kind of look at some things, and the first question that we look at and talk about is why essential oils. And Ronay and I have been both doing this for, gosh, Ronay, I know for me it's been 15 plus years now. Ronay, for you, Ronay, I know it's been just about the same, close.
Short of that,
And
yeah.
so just between the two of us, that's 30 years right there of, I know it makes us feel like we've been here for forever. And guys, what we love sharing and teaching is that this is information that anybody could start today and start to apply and use in their lives. And that's one of the really cool things is you're not expected to know everything today. That's why we share the information on where this information comes from, how to learn it, and how to make sure that you're using the things that are, kind of the best for you and your family. So when we're talking about why essential oils, this is kind of an important topic when we're just talking about some natural options. Now, for me, over the last 15 years, I've tended to go more natural in a lot of my medical decisions, my personal decisions. And even for those things, when I have had some advanced medical things going on, I was very upfront. I worked directly with my doctors, and I was clear with them that for most of these other things, I would like to be able to manage some of my side effects and some of the other things naturally with essential oils. Now, people ask me all the time, is that really possible? And I would tell you from my perspective, absolutely. Because I can tell you from my own experiences, and we can get into those more specifically after the cameras are no longer recording. But I've had some pretty profound experiences. Renee, I know, has had some pretty profound experiences. And it's one of those things that happens when you're using something pure, something potent, and you're using the right things for what you're using. Now, for example, I absolutely love peppermint. Peppermint is one of those amazing oils, and I'm here in Arizona. It for me, this is a regular use oil that has become part of my to-go kit. It is hot here in Arizona. Today was up over 110 degrees. It was hot. And so while I was outside, I put a little bit of peppermint. I put it into a little spritz bottle, sprayed a little bit on my hands, rubbed it on the back of my neck, and guess what? I felt cooler going on outside. And that to me is a profound, just example of how quickly these things can work. Now, if we're using essential oils to be able to address some of the things that are going on, like Ronai said, we're not doctors. We're not here to diagnose or prescribe even courses of action, but we do share some of the things that we've experienced and some of those occasional solutions. I use that word occasional because that's what the FDA says I need to use. Some of those occasional solutions for those occasional things that come up. And guess what? I find that they work pretty consistently and not just occasionally. And so it's really fun to be able to see. Now, we talk about a standard of essential oils, and Ronai and I have both aligned ourselves with a line of essential oils called doTERRA. And part of the reason, part of the core reason why that is because of the commitment that doTERRA has to quality. Now, there are lots of different types of essential oils out there. You see them advertised everywhere these days. And it seems like even in the dollar store, you could walk in and pick up what it says on at least on the bottle is an essential oil. But the reality is that essential oil that is in that bottle, it's not pure. And so that quality, that purity is so important. And so, when we're talking about, there are essential oils for aroma and aroma only. There are essential oils that could be used internally. There are essential oils that could be used topically. And if we're talking doTERRA essential oils, it's pretty amazing what we can do because of a little four-letter word. The for CPTG stands for Certified Pure Tested Grade. And it is that testing that ensures us that these oils are of the utmost quality. And it's not just us saying it. It's something that, there are a number of institutions now that have decided, you know what, if people are going to clinically study what these essential oils can do, doTERRA is the brand to use. And so it's really cool to be able to see and really put them into that perspective. So when we're looking at this, we see some pretty amazing problem solvers, some pretty amazing things that people can do and use for some everyday things that they have going. And we love sharing that. And so we're going to kind of get a little bit more into this. But why essential oils for me? What brings it down is that it works. And they work consistently when I'm using them consistent.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to talk about the 3 different ways to use essential oils. We use them aromatically, we use them topically, and if it's doTERRA, we use them internally. So let's talk about aromatically first. Um, Here's the other thing, you guys, this is an interactive class. If you have questions, you can put them in the chat or you can raise your hand and we will call on you or unmute and speak. We do want this to be interactive. Um, who knows about aromatherapy? Do you guys know how aromatherapy works? Um, I know you do, Jared. We're going to talk about how aromatherapy works. It works because we have an amygdala. In fact, we have 2. They're about the size and shape of an almond, one for each side of your brain. Your amygdala is your emotional center. The fastest way to your amygdala is through your olfactory senses. So you breathe it in, goes to your amygdala, down your pituitary, your thyroid, your parathyroid, your hypothalamus, and your whole limbic system goes. And I teach this pretty much every class. And the reason for this is it's really important to understand this process. Do you see how I sped up, I kind of stressed you out? And that's kind of what's happening every day. We have all these stressors coming at us, and you can very quickly slow them down just by opening a bottle and taking a breath. This is why in-person classes are so good. But if you are here and you have been to our classes and you have your own doTERRA oils, please grab an oil, grab a favorite oil and sniff it. Right now, what I had in front of me was tangerine. Citrus oils are one of my absolute favorite. They are my happy place. Do you have lime? Yeah. Lime is so good. But by inhaling, what it does is it sends a signal to your brain to slow down, that is okay. This is really, really good, especially if you know teachers, they can be doing this in the classroom, right? A lot of places are a no scent zone, but doTERRA essential oils have been approved for, um, oh, Jared, what's the word? In level one trauma centers. Level one trauma centers are no scent zones. It's very different from perfume. And the difference is there are four different grades of essential oils. This is super important to understand. The first is perfume grade. It's processed rapidly at high heat, destroying all therapeutic value. This is what people are allergic to. There's chemicals, pesticides, all sorts of things. But the perfume industry doesn't care. They just want it to smell good. This is why when you walk down the laundry aisle of a grocery store, your nose might clog up or you might get a headache or something. And that's because of these scents that are filled with chemicals. Second is food grade. This is GRAS, generally regarded as safe. So this is what flavors your gum or is different flavors for candies or um, peppermint, cinnamon, all the different flavors like that. Third is um, therapeutic grade. The problem with therapeutic, and again, this is why I love in-person classes. I have a non-therapeutic, sorry, I have a therapeutic grade oil and I have doTERRA. The problem with therapeutic is there's no global standard and you can smell the difference. There's all sorts of other things about it, but you can literally smell the difference. So there's no global standard. So there's nobody globally saying this is therapeutic and this isn't. But doTERRA created CPTG, certified pure tested grade. It is the most tested, the purest on the market. And here's the cool thing. You don't have to take our word for it because Roseman University did an amazing independent study and they found that doTERRA and two other boutique companies that have since gone out of business, but are the only pure ones on the market. The rest of them have fillers. Now, here's the thing about the fillers. The FDA says that only 25% of this bottle needs to be what it is, and the rest of it can be a filler, and it can still say 100% natural. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not cool with that. doTERRA, their CPT, certified pure tested grade, says, nah, that's not okay. Only 100% pure. They had they had an oil that we waited on for a while. I think it was Roman chamomile, if I'm remembering correctly. And they was coming back 98% pure, 98% pure. And doTERRA said, no, we're not buying that. We're not selling it. And the people who were selling it said, well, industry standard is way, way lower than that. They're like, this is way higher than industry standard. And doTERRA said, we don't care. Our standard is 100% pure. So I love that I can trust that when I am breathing this into my delicate lung tissue, it is 100% pure. And it's going to do amazing things aromatically for me by helping me control with that amygdala, control what's happening in my body. So very, very cool. I love aromatically. You can change a mood very quickly. You can help sleep. You can help calm. You can uplift and bring more energy. There's so many things. Plus, you can, um, when you're diffusing, you are also cleaning your air quality, which is absolutely amazing. One of the other things that I learned from one of, oh my gosh, her name just went out of my head, but beautiful, beautiful speaker here, all over. Oh my gosh, Jared, you're gonna die when I don't remember her name. Anyway, one of the things that she said when she was teaching is when you wear perfume, you are not only adding to your own toxic load, but you're adding to the toxic load of everyone who smells it, right? And now more and more people are becoming allergic to aromas. So that's a hard thing. When you are wearing essential oils, doTERRA essential oils, you are actually helping to reduce your own toxic load and those around you that can smell it. I
Mhm.
will warn you, because a lot of people, though, can have a psychosomatic response where they will smell it and say, oh, you're wearing something, it's giving me a headache. Often I tell them, well, let's do a little bit of education. So I talk about CPTG, talk about the purity, and I say, give yourself about 20 minutes, drink a big glass of water, and let me know if you still have that headache. Because automatically, somebody who is sensitive, their brain will give them a headache right away. It's a warning signal. But if you sit with it for a little bit, all of a sudden that warning signal goes away because it's like, oh, this actually is okay. So, aromatically, oils are amazing. You can put a drop in your hand, rub your hands together, breathe deeply. You can have a diffuser going. You can make a room spray. You can run it through your hair. Jared is famous for running it through his hair, especially when he was single. He likes, well, now his wife really likes it too. Um, so using essential oils can help change the mood of a room. They can help change your mood, especially in our high stress society. It's one of my favorite things to do. Any questions about aromatic use? If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Now I want to talk about topical use. Topically, oils are amazing to use topically because our skin is our largest organ. We can do so many things. You can release muscle tension. You can help with skincare. People are always amazed at how old I actually am because well, Jared, you don't look your age either, but I use essential oils as my skincare. I don't wear makeup. I mean, maybe a little eyeliner, mascara, that's it. But people are just always shocked. But you can use essential oils to help with skincare. You can also use it to boost your immune system. And this is one of the things, especially back to school. On Guard is one of my favorite things to put on my feet every night and every morning to support my immune system. I put a drop on my foot, rub my feet together. My husband, who hadn't had a nickname for me forever, started calling me Cricket because he says I look like a little cricket, just like rubbing my legs together. Um, but the reason I do that is you have the largest sweat glands on your feet. It absorbs into your system very quickly, and once it's into your bloodstream, covers every cell in your body in less than a minute, which I think is absolutely fascinating. But On Guard helps with immune support. It doesn't boost your immune system because I get a lot of people who are um, some people who have an overactive or an underactive immune system, that it brings your immune system to where it should be, which is super, super cool. Topically, um, Jared, what am I missing topically? Did I miss anything?
Massage.
Oh, yes.
There are so many different ways we can use essential oils. And actually, I've worked with a number of massage therapists that absolutely have decided that they love our essential oils. And part of the reason why they found that the amount of oil that they had to use for somebody was significantly less than the amount that they needed to use for some of these other brands. And a lot of that, again, goes back to that purity. They were able to find that if they were going to use peppermint, for example, that they just needed to use 1 to 2 drops versus 5 or 6. And so that potency and that purity plays a huge role in that. Massage is a great way to be able to do that. We also love teaching classes. There's a technique called the Aroma Touch technique, one of our favorite techniques to be able to help people realize and see some of these amazing benefits. And whether you're doing the Aroma Touch technique or doing a hand massage, you can do a nice hand massage for somebody with these essential oils, and they're seeing some really cool benefits. And one of the studies actually came out of a It was an adult care facility, a memory care facility that was working with some people that were struggling as they were aging and starting to forget things. And as they were facing that forgetfulness, they ended up having some anger and outbursts that would come out of that. And a wellness advocate like Ronai and I went in and started doing this technique for some of the residents there. And they found that pretty quick they started seeing less outbreaks of anger, less frustration. That the patients were able to actually hold on to some of their memories a little bit better. And going back to school, I thought part of that was significant too, because hey, I wanted to be able to help my own kids make sure that while they were studying, that they had the best chance of retaining and remembering the things that they were studying. And so that applies to all areas of life, whether we're just learning information or struggling to hold on to it. But even just that simple act of a little bit of touch had a profound impact, and it's a great way to be able to get these oils in, especially also if we're targeting a specific part of the body.
Absolutely. The third way I want to talk about is internally. And I love internal use. I love internal use for so many reasons, but I also get a lot of people who are like, you can't use essential oils internally. Typically, those people, I will ask them if they drink tea. And a lot of people are like, yeah, I drink tea. Well, if you have a leaf, let's say this is a leaf. On a leaf, you have these little teeny, like if you magnify it, you have these little teeny oil sacs. And that's what is removed from the leaf while it's fresh. And that's what is the essential oil. But what happens is they dry the leaf, and those little oil sacs dry to the leaf. And then when you add hot water, it rehydrates the oil, and that's what gives tea its flavor. Now, here's the thing is it's now a lot less effective because you've dried it, rehydrated it. So a 1 drop of peppermint oil is the equivalent of, I believe, 27 drops of, um, no, sorry, 27 cups of peppermint tea. I was like, something's not right here. 27 cups. Like, isn't that crazy? So this is incredibly potent, these drops of essential oils. Now, when you're using them internally, here's the cool thing. And I love this. One of the things I have to tell you is these essential oils are not medicine. What they are is they are nutrition for your body. And when your body's nutritionally fed, your body heals itself. So what he's showing right there is that we have essential oil supplemental facts. This is how you will know whether or not you can ingest this one. So like this bottle here just says essential oil blend. You can't ingest this one. Or I've got some that just say essential oil. Those would be the ones that you wouldn't want to use internally. But everything in nature has a left and a right to it. So as you ingest it, it has receptors in your body and it comes in like this or it comes in like this. And your body says, ooh, nutrition, I know what to do with this. Essential oils are the immune system of a plant. Plants are carbon-based. We are carbon-based. It comes this way and it comes this way. And your body says, ooh, nutrition, I know what to do with this. And again, when your body's nutritionally fed, your body heals itself. So, if you want to bring in proper nutrition for different things that you have going on, let's say you have some digestive upset. Great, we have a blend called Digest Zen. Now, you can use it topically. A lot of times I will just put a drop on my belly and rub it on my belly with a little bit of coconut oil. Jared, do you want to tell us why we would use coconut oil in that case?
Absolutely. So coconut oil is an amazing carrier, absolutely, to be able to just apply the oil and have it be able to spread out a little bit more. But here's something really cool about these essential oils. If I were to leave this bottle uncapped and sitting right here on my desk, These essential oils are what are known as volatile compounds. And so that essential oil is eventually going to evaporate off. Some of them evaporate out even faster than others. And so, for example, if I'm putting this directly on my skin, what ends up happening is a concept called flashing, where if you put that essential oil on your skin, because of the warmth and heat of your skin, and now the increased oxygen exposure, those essential oil molecules are just going to flash off. And so one of the best ways we can increase absorption, not even so much about safety or reducing sensitivity, but increase absorption and get a better all around result with it, is using a carrier oil, because that's going to keep it suspended on your skin a little bit longer so that it can improve that absorbability of these essential oils. One of the reasons we like fractionated coconut oil, it's odorless, it's colorless, it's not going to change the aroma profile of these other oils, and the fractionated coconut oil doesn't actually go rancid. Now, there are times that we use just regular coconut oil, like you might find in your kitchen, the kind of stuff that, solidifies during the winter, or we can use like a lotion base. You can also use jojoba oil. I know outside of Arizona, they call it jojoba oil. There's all kinds of different alternatives that people use. Fractionated coconut oil tends to be my go-to.
Absolutely, mine as well. So internally, topically, we kind of talked like I could use that digest zen topically and it helps, but so often if we're ingesting it, it's going to get down to the root cause. It's going to help systemically. I know that certain times of the year, my eyes get runny, my nose or my eyes itch, my nose is a little runny. There's outside things that cause that. I know that I can take 2 drops each of lavender, lemon, and peppermint in a capsule, take it internally, and it stops those reactions that my body is giving. If you want me to speak a little bit more freely about that, wait until after class and we turn the camera off and I'll be a little more clear.
I'm pretty
But
sure we call those seasonal threats.
seasonal
And
threats, yeah.
those seasonal threats that show up in all kinds of different ways, whether it's the poofy white stuff that shows up on our trees or different flowering things or even our lovely pets.
Yes. So as we are heading back to school and we are around so many people, we do have things that we can take internally to support our immune system. You can take On Guard. We also have On Guard Plus that comes in a capsule. And that's not only On Guard, but it has Melissa and black pepper, which is really great immune support. We have the On Guard yes, On Guard hand sanitizer spray, or there's also the sanitizing gel, but these are not to be used internally. Other internal things, I love putting citrus oils in my water. First off, it tastes amazing. Second, I drink more water. Third, citrus oils are awesome inside your body because our body has fat cells to protect from different threats that are happening. So what happens, our body, as we are breathing or we're taking in, different toxins are coming in our body all the time. And our fat cells grab those and wrap them and say, nope, not today, toxins. But of course, we're like, not today, fat cells. Like, we don't want that, right? So we get a little cranky about those fat cells. Instead, we should go, thank you, fat cells, for doing your job. But what we're going to do is we're going to drink some citrus oil, and the citrus oils actually remove the junk from the fat cells. Our fat cells shrink down to the right size, and we just feel better. We have more energy, all sorts of things like that. So we can go more in depth on what things do internally, especially in a wellness consult. So if you are watching this or if you're here and you're like, you know what, I really want a personalized wellness consult so I can go over more in depth these things, we're happy to do that. But today, I do want to focus more on those things that are back to school. So, Jared, you've got kids that are already back to school because you're in Arizona and it's just too hot to be outside. So they're like, hey, let's send you back to school early.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it is. My kids went back to school on Tuesday, and they were already looking forward to, well, they were looking forward to another month of summer, but they don't get that anymore. So they were looking forward to seeing their friends and being able to be in that environment and be, just around all of these additional people that they haven't seen now in a couple months. And usually one of the first things that we see happen about the end of the first week, start of the second week, you start seeing a few more people that come back with the sniffles, that come back with some other things going on because they haven't been around each other for a while. And so there's some
They're
extra buggies.
they're in that petri dish we call school. So what are some of the things that you do for immune support?
Oh, our On Guard soft gels, the On Guard spray, the On Guard oil, those three tend to be cornerstones of our immune support system, at least here at home. But one of the other things that I love being able to do, I may not be able to control what's going on out there in the world, but I can control what's going on in my home. And so we have diffusers set up here so that as soon as people are walking in, and we're diffusing On Guard right now, so that what people are breathing in, that aromatic benefit that they're getting is going to go straight to their lungs, and they're going to see and feel that benefit right away to kind of help deal with some of the ickies, some of the gunk that they've been exposed to while they've been out there in the world.
Absolutely. So I'm just gonna pull up. I'm not as quick as Leanne is, but I want to just show quickly. This is, can you guys see that? I never know because my screen is a little wonky.
Yep, it's there.
This is On Guard soft gel. So this is my go-to for supporting internally immune supports. Um, it- as soon as I start to feel that tickle in my throat or just that rundown feeling, I will start taking these as a preventative, or if I'm worse, if I've gone down quickly, then I will take these as a I will take multiple a day just to get over the hump. How's that? The On Guard touch is great because it is already pre-diluted with um, fractionated coconut oil, so you do not have to add additional oil to this. On Guard itself, I love to put this in my diffuser, like 2 drops of On Guard with like 3 to 5 drops of tangerine oil is my favorite. Like as soon as fall hits, this is my all the time. During the summer, I'm more citrusy because there's not citrus is great. It's antibacterial, antifungal, antimicrobial, so it will clean the air. This like not only cleans, it kills all the thingies. On Guard foaming hand wash. Huge, huge fan of this, as well as the concentrated cleaner. In fact, I gotta tell you, I stopped buying the foaming hand wash and I just use the concentrated cleaner and dilute it for a foaming hand wash because I'm all about value and I don't want to buy the extra water. And then On Guard, the protecting throat drops are a staple. I have them all year round, but especially in the fall. And then the hand sanitizing wipes, especially when I travel, this is in the vehicle whenever we're traveling because when you go to a restaurant or a hotel room or anything, I wipe everything down with the On Guard hand sanitizing wipes. So, that is awesome. Go ahead, Jared.
Renee, I know you also use the On Guard toothpaste.
Yes, it's not on here. Oh, there it is. Yes. The On Guard toothpaste. I use the On Guard toothpaste at night and I use the Supermint in the morning. Um, I just I love the Supermint, but I feel like my mouth is even cleaner using the On Guard. Like it just does wonderful things. But I love the flavor of the Supermint. Also, the Supermint is a fabulous, like, wake you up. It's one of those, have you seen those York peppermint patty commercials when they're just like It's like this fresh, right? And that's how I feel when I brush my teeth with this Super Mint toothpaste. Cool things about the toothpaste is they're they're sweetened with uh xylitol, which is a sweet enzyme which dentists love, but they also have hydroxyapatite, which helps to remineralize your teeth. You guys, it's so important to do this. And it has a natural whitening effect that happens. So it's like win-win-win. Jared, any other thoughts on the toothpaste?
Oh, I love that. I mean, if you think about the number of uh, unwanted friends we get through our exposure to the outside world, whether it's, breathing it in or whatever we're touching or, the foods that we're eating and things like that. Our mouths tend to be kind of a breeding ground for a lot of unsavory things. And so any chance I get to kind of knock that out, toothpaste is a good way to do that.
Yes, I will tell you the mouthwash as well. So this On Guard mouth rinse, one of the things I love about this is there's no alcohol in it. And so I have a lot of people who can't use Um, regular mouthwash, which you shouldn't anyway. There's so many chemicals and blah. Anyway, but they have so much alcohol in it, even a small amount for someone who is maybe going through a program. They're like, I can't do that. It has alcohol in it. But our On Guard mouth rinse does not have any alcohol. So that's super, super awesome. All right.
We also won't get into too much about the whole thing of a lot of commercial toothpaste. They tell you if, and it says it right on the tube, if swallowed, contact poison control. You're not going to
Yeah.
find that kind of warning on this. Again, we're looking something that's all natural. It's safe if your kids are using it, safe if people are, get a little bit of, and if you think about it, what do you put in your mouth that you don't get any of it digest or ingested? Your anything you put in your mouth is going to be absorbed in some way under the tongue, whether it's swallowed with saliva, whatever people are taking that way. There's some absorption and digestion there. So
Yes. Sorry. I am trying to look. I want to talk about one of the other things that's really important, and I'll get you started talking about it so that I can find the kit. But as we're going back to school, especially if you have, well, kids or teenagers, it doesn't matter, but our emotional health is super, super important. So, Jared, can you start talking about, because you've got teenagers in the house. Let's
I
talk about
do.
how important it is to support our emotions, especially in a high school environment.
Right, absolutely. And whether it's for our littles or our teenagers or certainly even my young adults, and even for me, I've noticed and I benefit every day from things that I can use for supporting my moods and emotions. Now, I don't know about the rest of you that are going to be watching this, either with us live or after the fact, but I want you to ask yourself a question right now. Have you ever experienced stress? Do you ever experience anxiety? Do you ever have those moments where you're driving down the road and somebody cuts you off? Or other things happen and life happens all the way around us. And so anytime I can use things that are going to support my emotions, you're going to see some fundamental benefits of that. And like Renee talked about earlier, when we're dealing with our olfactory senses and hitting that amygdala, it creates a cascade effect of therapeutic benefits. And so, anytime we can bring these oils in aromatically, you can see some profound benefits. And there's a couple of kits that we have. This emotional aromatherapy kit, which comes in either just a regular format or the touch format. It's the one just right over where next to where your mouse was there. Both of those are amazing kits for really supporting emotions. And I love how the oils are named. They are absolutely named to target what they're talking about. And so these are specific blends that have been created to be able to address some of these different things. And so, for example, if I need some peace, in my life because of all the stress that's going on. There's a blend called peace, and it's a great one to be able to use, or cheer, or console, or what else do we have? Forgive, motivate. Anybody ever feel like they need some motivation? You know, I think what my 16-year-old needed some motivation to get up this morning and get ready to go to school. You know, whatever it is that we're facing, there's a blend called passion and then peace. And so these six different oils were designed specifically to be able to address some of those aromatherapy, mood and emotion benefits
Yes.
that are huge.
I will tell you, I put forgive on my heart pretty much daily because there is always someone I need to forgive. Most often it's myself for for those thoughts where I'm picking on myself, right? I'm unkind to myself, which is so ridiculous. I should be my best friend, right? So forgive on my heart. I will tell you, motivate is one of my favorite smells. Like it's just this fabulous citrusy minty deliciousness. Um, I I have to laugh a little bit about passion because I had someone who called me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, Ronay, my 14-year-old son, all he will diffuse is passion." So like I took it away. I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Well, he's 14 and passion." And I said, "Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Like there's two different forms of passion. There's passion like bow chicka wow wow passion, or there is passion like zest for life. And it's just, I said, check in and see what's going on. And it turns out he was being bullied at school. And so she calls me back, oh my gosh, he's being bullied and this was going on and I didn't know. And and I said, give him his passion back because it was helping him to feel better. Like just having that zest for life again. So if you are super drawn to an aroma, a lot of times it's because it's helping you emotionally. Like I know Jared and I talk about this all the time. In fact, mine's upstairs, but citrus bliss. Citrus bliss is our happy place. In fact, Leanne's daughter Megan, every time that she smelled citrus bliss for a long time, she's like, it smells like Nene, which that's me. Um, so it's just that's what I would use as my perfume, and it just citrus bliss is yummy. It's amazing and it's uplifting and it's beautiful. But there are times when okay. The other thing, if you get to know me after a while, you know that I hate the smell of patchouli, like hate it. And I can smell it in any blend really, except when my heart is hurting, I cannot smell it in console. When I'm happy and everything's fine, I smell console and I'm like, ugh. But when I am sad, I had two cousins pass away within a week of each other, and I was just like, I was just sad. And I couldn't put enough console and peace on, and I kept putting lime in my water, and I just like all of a sudden it hit me. Lime is the oil for zest of life. It helps to dispel apathy and grief. And so just having that lime in my water and the console and the peace, it just fed my body what my body needed. Because again, these essential oils are nutrition for your body. When your body is nutritionally fed, your body heals itself. And I was able to get over that grief. Um, I won't say faster, but smoother, right? Because grief takes the time and I mean my dad passed away almost 20 years ago, and there are still times where that grief will just hit me. But what's cool is I know that I have these tools, these amazing essential oils to help me get through any grief or pain, and I love it. So this emotional aromatherapy kit is absolutely phenomenal. I will also tell you there is a aromatherapy oil kit. Do we still have that one, Jared?
Oh, there is.
The emotional
So,
aromatherapy kit? I'm trying to find it.
a couple of the oils have
Ah,
changed and they
right here.
released some new things, but yeah.
So this emotional aromatherapy kit is a fabulous one. It has peppermint balance. Balance is another one that I use on the daily, a little on the back of my neck here, base of my spine, off in the bottoms of my feet. Balance helps balance your mood, balance your blood. It is ah very woodsy and lovely. Breathe oil. Breathe is another staple. Um, so often when our emotions are high and let's say something is happening and we start to panic a little and it gets worse and worse, if you guys know what I'm talking about, what happens is we actually stop breathing. We can't breathe. I had I had an experience just a couple weeks ago. No, it's a week and a half ago where I had something traumatic in my brain happen. Because let me tell you, it wasn't actually what was happening around me, but my brain thought something super traumatic was happening and I could not breathe. Literally could not breathe. My husband got a bottle of Breathe in front of me and it took a while. Well, not, it was actually fairly quick, but it in those moments when you can't breathe, it feels like forever. And what happened is my brain calmed down enough to go, oh, actually, you're safe. Everything's fine. And it's important. It's so important to have the right tools. Breathe also helps during, let's say, times where congestion is coming out of your body a lot and it's those lungs are pretty inflamed. Put a drop of breathe oil in your hands, puff it in, and it will expand those airways, which is really, really good. Wild orange, again, citrus oils, super uplifting and awesome. On Guard, it's your immune support. Citrus bloom. Okay, we talked about citrus bliss, but citrus bloom is another really amazing. I'm not a super floral person, but the way that they blended the citrus with the floral, it's an amazing perfume, but also just it's really, really good. Serenity. Serenity is our lavender-based restful blend. Now, a lot of people love the smell of lavender. I'm not one of those people, but I got to tell you, the way that they blend the lavender with some woodsy oils, Serenity is phenomenal for putting you in that restful state. Cheer, again, Cheer is in that emotional aromatherapy kit. Cheer does exactly what it says it is. I love how doTERRA names their blends because Cheer is just a happy blend. It helps you be happy. Adaptive. Adaptive is one of our most studied blends for emotional support. It helps your body to adapt to the ever-changing emotions that are happening. I like blending Adaptive with Wild Orange. Adaptive has Wild Orange in it, but again, I'm not citrus girl, so you add a little extra and it's so good. Northern Escape is like walking through the woods or Home Depot. Like it's just that super amazing woodsy smell. It's awesome. And then this has a La Luz diffuser. Jared, I just took over and said all the different things super fast. Is there anything that you want to add in here?
You know what? I love these different oils that we could spend, obviously, you guys can tell. We love these oils. We get very passionate about these oils. We do our best to not just overwhelm people with the sheer amount of different possibilities that there are. And but I mean, at the end of the day, this is where it gets really cool. If somebody has a question, there are resources to be able to help them figure out which oil to use. And I will tell you, if all you have is one, two, three oils in your possession, you can handle most of the big things. And you know, there's it's pretty phenomenal what you can do. And so I love being able to teach people. And we do classes on like emergency preparedness. We do classes on obviously back to school. We talk about moods and emotions. We have lots and lots of different classes, and we love people coming to learn with us. And at the end of the day, we hope that people, I mean, the reason we let sometimes our excitement just go is we want people to realize just how excited we are about the things that we get to share. And so it's really cool to be able to do that. We don't want to overwhelm people. We want to be able to invite them to come and learn with us. But there are some really cool things on our website that are tools to be able to learn how to use and figure out what to be able to do. And I know that Renee is showing it to us right there. And you can see she typed in emotions kit and it brought up all kinds of different things. But if you have something that you're wanting to be able to figure out, okay, what can I use for some of these different purposes? The website actually has some really cool things that you can do and be able to employ for your own benefit to be able to figure out what those things are. And if in doubt and you're just not figuring out what it is, that's why we're here to help as well.
Yes. So right here, in this discover, you can come up here and just type whatever you want. I had typed in emotions kit, and that's why all those kits came up. So this search bar is fantastic. But under discover, one of our favorite things to do is you come over, you scroll over and discover solutions, right? All of these have drop-down menus. So you can beauty and personal care, kids, reducing toxic load, eating right, lifestyle, informed self-care, exercise, mood management, and sleep. This is just a place to start. And when you click on any one of these, so supporting a healthy learning environment, this is perfect for our back to school, right? As you are here looking at supporting our healthy learning environment, you get information, there's videos, links to other content, recommended other products. It is a wealth of knowledge. Um, then as you again go under discover and there's education, aroma touch, which we will be teaching an aroma touch class the end of August, which will be really interesting having this online because we're going to explain things, but really we need in person to experience this one. You can go to the science of essential oils. If you want to geek out on science, it is all right here. If you are a podcast person, all the information is here. There's also product training and doTERRA rewards. It is phenomenal. What I want to do is I want to go back to kits because we've talked all about essential oils. Oh, of course we're gonna do that. We've talked all about the essential oils, different things you can do, but what I want to talk about is how to get these essential oils. If you do not have your own wholesale account, it's very easy to get your own wholesale account. You buy when you want to buy, you don't buy when you don't want to buy. And right now, there is no fee. It's normally $35 just to get the wholesale account, kind of like a Costco or Sam's Club membership where you pay to have discounted prices. But right now, doTERRA is waiving that. And it is just you purchase your kit, boom, you get amazing things. And this is where we come in. If you don't know which kit you're interested in, then contact one of us. We will walk you through and figure out the right kit for you. Or you can also create your own kit. And that is a phenomenal thing to do. If your kit is 150 PV or above, so PV, if you look down here, usually, oh, they don't have the PV on here, but you can get, like, let's say we're doing, I want to go down to one of my favorite kits that everybody should have, and that's the Home Essentials kit. These are the 10 essential oils. Okay, we're not going to be able to go to that kit because we are live. And so let's see if, nope, doTERRA's not playing. Anyway, when you purchase a kit, you're able to get, most of our kits come with a diffuser. If it's 150 PV or above, you actually get your choice between a diffuser, an additional diffuser, or you can get those 2 toothpaste flavors, which I got to tell you, they're phenomenal. So please go back and talk to the person who sent you to this class or to this video, and they will help you with finding the right kit for you, finding the right lifestyle. Because this isn't just a kit. It's not what you're getting. What you're getting is a lifestyle. And that's what we teach. That's why we teach weekly classes. So please come back to class every single week because we want to be here to support you, to show you how to use these amazing gifts of the earth, because that's what doTERRA means. We're going to shut off the video now. Jared, any parting words
No,
before we
just
party?
yeah, hey, we love teaching and we love sharing what we've learned. And, we love when people come and have questions. So we're going to open this up for questions, for comments, and this is where the fun begins. So for those of you that aren't here with us live, you're missing out.
Bye bye.